Hey, what up everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you today. Stone Cold Steve Austin took matters into his own hands and basically put out one hell of a tweet, basically saying that it was bullshit reporting to rope him into the rumors of who is going to be facing Brock Lesnar at Wrestlemania 32. I know that this is a dream that a lot of people have held on to for a long time. It's one of those dream matches of WWE that a lot of people were hoping that we were going to see this year for Wrestlemania 32, trying to find a way to put so many fans into AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, but I guess that dream is done. Or is it? A lot of my friends on here know me as sort of like the conspiracy theorist, the guy who's always trying to look into everything and trying to say that it's an angle and trying to play off on this. Maybe they do one hell of an angle on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, which is going to be coming up in the month of October, which is known as Brocktober, or Brock Lesnar's Go to Hell tour. I don't know. The one thing that pops up in my mind, and you might have to YouTube this if you don't know what I'm talking about, is that back in the 90s, Jim Rome, who most people might know as a sports show, talk show host, had a show on ESPN. He wasn't as famous as he is now, and some people might not even know who he is, and might not even think that he is famous. But when it comes to sports personalities, Jim Rome is probably one of the most popular guys there is going today. But he had Jim Everett on his podcast, television show, I apologize. And throughout the show, he kept on making fun of him to his face, to the point where he finally, he was calling him Chris Everett, the same name as the female tennis player, because Jim Rome was referring to him as that he was soft, and that basically, he wasn't a good quarterback, this, that, or the other. And basically, Jim Everett stood up. He flipped the announce desk, the interview desk over, and went right after him and started, trying to choke Jim Rome live on the air. And this was probably one of the biggest things that ever happened on ESPN for a live interviewer at the time. It might be what shot Jim Rome up a little bit more, in the world of being famous. Maybe we are just holding on to a match that's never going to happen. Maybe they are going to play off onto some sort of an angle. Stone Cold, to me, seems like a guy who is, all business, no bullshit. If there's something out there that he can make money at, whether if it's Redneck Island, whether if it's the Stone Cold, I don't know the name of their show. I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But, he's done reality shows. He's done this, that, or the other. He's sort of moved into the next patch of his life. I'm sure that if WWE wanted to bring him back, he seemed like he was gung-ho to do Tough Enough this year. But he just said that he'd already made commitments to CMT, and that he wasn't going to blow them off in order to do Tough Enough. And that probably was, him dodging a bullet, because Tough Enough seemed like a show that basically wasn't going to be good no matter what they did out there. It just seemed like there was too many people with, the Hogan, The Miz, Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Paige, Renee Young, and all of the other competitors that were out there. Just didn't seem, even if Austin was on the show, it didn't seem like he was going to be getting that much stuff. It seemed like they were trying to combine American Idol with Tough Enough, with, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and all sorts of other crap that was going on at the time. But I will honestly tell you that I don't want to give up on the dream of having Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle one more time. I just don't believe that it's honestly really going to happen. Who knows? I mean, it's going to make that, Brock Lesnar interview on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast that much, must-see TV, because people are going to have to know what happens. And was the Paul Heyman thing an angle? Was it, Heyman and Austin just messing around? Or what was the deal?